jobs didn't wait, and you sometimes had to make the extra effort. He refused to think what he would do if he'd guessed wrong, and there was nothing at the end of his journey but a grim shake of the head and, "No work, sorry." His gaze idly followed a porter, awkwardly trundling his cart full of luggage across the platform, followed by a pair of elderly women. The cars were already jammed with families on their way to the seaside, but room was found for 2 more. Then his eye was suddenly caught by another woman outside one of the cars further down the train, kneeling to comfort a little girl who was crying. A boy, much younger, not more than 2, clung to the trouser leg of the man bending protectively over them, speaking to the woman and then to the little girl. Mowbray stared at the woman, his body tight with shock and dismay. It couldn't be Mary. "My God!" he breathed. "Oh, my God!" Turning from the window, he lunged for the door, almost knocking the wide-brimmed hat from the head of a startled farmer's wife who couldn't get out of his way fast enough. He tripped over her basket, losing precious seconds as he fought for his balance. Her companion stood up, younger and stouter, and demanded to know what he thought he was doing, her red, angry face thrust into his. The train jerked under his feet, and he realized it was moving, pulling out. "No! No! Wait!" he screamed, but it was too late. The train had picked up momentum and was already out of the small station, a few houses flashing by, before the town was swallowed up by distance and fields. He was nearly incoherent with frustration and the intensity of his need. He yelled for the conductor, demanding that the train be stopped now. The conductor, a phlegmatic man who had dealt with drunken soldiers and whoring seamen during the war years, said soothingly, "Overslept your stop, did you? Never mind, there's another just down the road a bit." But he had to restrain Mowbray before they reached the next station. The man seemed half out of his mind and was trying to fling himself off the train. 2 burly coal-stokers, on their way to Weymouth, helped the conductor wrestle him into a seat, while a prim-mouthed spinster, wearing a moth-eaten fox around her shoulders, never mind the heat, threatened to collapse into strong hysterics. Mowbray had gone from wild swearing and threats to helpless, angry tears by the time the train lurched into the next town. He and his shabby case were heaved off without ceremony, and he was left standing on the station platform, disoriented and distraught. Without a word to the staring station-master, he handed in his ticket for Lyme Regis and set off at a smart pace down the nearest road in the direction of Singleton Magna. But the woman and children and man were gone when he got to the town, and no one could tell him where to find them. He went to the only hotel, a small stone edifice called, with more imagination than accuracy, the Swan, demanding to know if a family of 4 had come in by the noon train. He stopped at the small shops that sold food and the 2 tea-rooms nearest the station, describing the woman first, then the children and the man. He badly frightened one clerk with his furious insistence that "You must have seen them, you must!" He tracked down the carriage that served as the town taxi and angrily called the driver a liar for claiming he hadn't set eyes on the woman or the man, much less the children. "They're not here, mate," the middle-aged driver declared shortly, jerking a thumb toward the back. "See for yourself. Nobody like that came out of the station today while I was waiting. If you was to meet them here, it's your misfortune, not mine. Maybe that you got your dates wrong." "But they can't have vanished," Mowbray cried. "I've got to find them. The bitch, the bitch. They're my children. She's my wife. It isn't right. I tell you, if she's tricked me, I'll kill her. I swear I will. Tell me where she's got to, or I'll throttle you as well. You and who else?"